Oh, you're here. And your timing is perfect. I'm Lily.
And I'm Sam. Really glad you joined us today. New episode every single day. Subscribe now so you never miss one.
Before we get into today's story, let us tell you what's waiting in this episode, because this one is genuinely useful for real life.
We're talking about money, how to talk about your budget, your spending, your savings in English, naturally, without it being awkward.
I'm going to give you 5 essential words that cover every money conversation you'll ever need, from tight months to big splurges.
And I'm going to tell you about the time Jake invited me on a weekend trip that I absolutely could not afford, and how I tried to get out of it without admitting that.
There's a metaphor coming that makes budgeting vocabulary click instantly. We've got money idioms, common mistakes, including some that even advanced learners get wrong, a full quiz, and shadowing.
And we're going to talk about the difference between salary, wage, and income, because most people use them interchangeably. Interchangeably means as if they mean the same thing, and they don't quite.
By the end of this episode, you're going to be able to talk about money in English the way people actually talk about it, honestly, naturally, without sounding like a textbook.
Stay with us. This one might save you some money, or at least help you talk about not having it.
So Sam, tell me about Jake's invitation.
Okay, so Jake called me about 3 weeks ago, very excited, very Jake, and said, "Sam, weekend trip, 4 of us, nice hotel, nice restaurant, nice everything. You in?"
And what was your immediate reaction?
My immediate reaction was, "How much?" which I didn't say out loud because Jake had already moved on to describing the hotel, and I didn't want to interrupt. Interrupt means stop someone while they're speaking with something as boring as money.
Very Sam.
So he finishes describing this whole beautiful weekend and says, it'll probably be about 300 each. Each means per person for the hotel, and we'll split means divide equally between everyone, the other costs.
And I did the mental calculation. Mental calculation means working out numbers in your head immediately. 300 plus food plus transport plus whatever else. I was looking at $450 minimum. Minimum means the least possible amount.
And could you afford it?
That month? Not really. I'd had some unexpected expenses. Unexpected expenses means costs that you didn't plan for and weren't expecting. And my budget was already stretched. Stretched means extended to its limit under pressure.
But I didn't want to say that to Jake, because Jake is generous. Generous means giving freely and happily, and he would have offered to cover me. Cover me means pay for me, and I didn't want that either.
So what did you do?
I said, sounds amazing, let me check my schedule, which bought me means gave me 3 days to figure out what to say.
And what did you figure out?
I called him back and said, Jake, I'm going to have to sit this one out. Sit this one out means not participate in this particular thing. I've got some stuff going on financially. Financially means related to money and finances this month. And Jake, being Jake, just said, say no more, next time. And that was it. No pressure, no drama. But I spent 3 days anxious means worried and uneasy, about a conversation that took 45 seconds.
That story is so real, and those words, budget, afford, cut back, you use them all without noticing.
I always do.
And that's exactly what we're talking about today. Budget, afford, cut back, save up, splurge. 5 words, all about money and budgeting in English. And that's exactly what we're talking about today.
Let's do this. My wallet means a small flat case for carrying money and cards, is ready, or not ready, depending on the month.
Let's start with budget. A budget is a plan for how you're going to spend your money, how much comes in, how much goes out, and where it goes. It can be a noun or a verb.
As a noun, I set a budget of £200 for food this month. As a verb, I've been trying to budget more carefully since January.
We need to stay within budget. Within budget means not spending more than the planned amount on this project. Or I'm on a tight budget this month, so I can't go out much.
Tight budget. That was me 3 weeks ago. Very tight. Uncomfortably tight. Like a pair of jeans you haven't worn since before winter.
Now, afford. To afford something means to have enough money to pay for it. It's one of the most important and most natural money words in English, and it comes in positive and negative forms.
I can't afford a holiday this month. Or, we finally saved enough to afford a new car. And there's a very important distinction. Distinction means a significant difference between I don't have money and I can't afford it.
Tell me more about that.
I don't have money is very direct and slightly awkward. Awkward means uncomfortable and socially difficult in English. It sounds almost dramatic. I can't afford it is natural, normal, and carries no embarrassment. Native speakers say I can't afford it all the time. It's just how you explain a financial limit without making it feel heavy.
Exactly. I can't afford it right now is one of the most common and most acceptable sentences in everyday English. Nobody flinches. Flinches means reacts with discomfort. When they hear it, it's completely normal.
I should have said it to Jake immediately instead of inventing a schedule conflict. Schedule conflict means a situation where two things clash and you can't do both.
Now, cut back. To cut back means to reduce. Reduce means make smaller or less. You're spending in a particular area. You cut back on something specific.
I've been cutting back on eating out to save money. Or we had to cut back on our grocery budget this month.
Cut back is always followed on. Cut back on coffee. Cut back on subscriptions. Subscriptions means regular payments for services like streaming or apps. Cut back on unnecessary spending. Unnecessary spending means money spent on things you don't really need.
I cut back on about 4 things the week after Jake's invitation, including the fancy coffee I was buying every morning, which saved me approximately 40 pounds and made me significantly means to a notable degree, sadder.
Now, save up. To save up means to gradually means slowly and steadily over time, put money aside until you have enough for something specific.
I've been saving up for a new laptop for 6 months. Or, she saved up all year so she could afford the holiday she wanted.
Save up implies means suggests without directly stating a goal. You're not just saving. Saving means keeping money rather than spending it. In general, you're saving up for something specific. I'm saving up for a deposit. Deposit means an initial payment made to secure something, like a flat or a house.
Jake is saving up for a motorbike. Motorbike means a two-wheeled motor vehicle. He's been saving up for 8 months, which is why he can afford nice hotel weekends. His budget is impeccable. Impeccable means perfect, without any flaws or errors.
And finally, splurge. To splurge means to spend money freely and extravagantly. Extravagantly means in an excessive, lavish way on something, usually as a treat. Treat means something special you do for yourself or others that goes beyond the everyday.
I splurged on a really nice dinner for my birthday. Or, after months of cutting back, I finally splurged on something just for me.
Splurge has a positive, slightly indulgent. Indulgent means allowing yourself something pleasurable beyond what's strictly necessary, feeling. It's not reckless. Reckless means without care or thought for consequences, spending. It's conscious. Conscious means done with full awareness and intention, treating yourself.
Jake splurges regularly and without apology. Without apology means openly, not feeling the need to justify or explain. It's actually one of the things I admire about him. He budgets carefully and then splurges intentionally. Intentionally means on purpose, as a deliberate choice. I just sometimes skip the budgeting part.
Here's the metaphor for today. Think of your budget like a glass of water. When you get paid means receive your salary or wages, the glass is full. Every time you spend, the water goes down. Some things take big gulps. Gulps means large amounts swallowed quickly. Unexpected expenses, rent, bills. Some things take small sips. Sips means small amounts drunk slowly. Cutting back means choosing smaller sips more often. Saving up means deciding not to drink from a particular part of the glass and letting it fill back up. And splurging? Splurging is choosing one moment to drink deeply. Deeply means fully, with great enjoyment, and enjoy every drop. The goal isn't to never drink, it's to know what's in your glass.
My glass 3 weeks ago was significantly below the halfway mark. Halfway mark means the middle point. Jake's weekend was a big gulp I couldn't afford.
And that's okay. Knowing your glass level is the whole point. Now, money idioms. These are the expressions that make you sound genuinely natural when talking about money in English. First, to live within your means. This means to spend only as much as you earn. Earn means receive as payment for work, and not more. To not overspend. Overspend means spend more than you have or planned.
She learned to live within her means after a difficult year financially. Or, living within your means isn't about being boring, it's about being free.
Next, to tighten your belt. This idiom means to reduce your spending because you have less money than usual. The image is of literally tightening. Tightening means making tighter, reducing, your belt when you lose weight. The financial equivalent means something that corresponds to or is equal to something else, is spending less when money is tight.
We're going to have to tighten our belts this month. The heating bill was enormous. Enormous means extremely large. Or, after losing his job, he had to tighten his belt significantly.
Next, to break the bank. To break the bank means to cost so much that it completely exhausts. Exhausts means uses up entirely your finances. Often used in the negative, it won't break the bank means it's affordable, not too expensive.
Jake's weekend trip would have broken the bank for me that month. Or, we found a really nice restaurant that didn't break the bank, about 30 pounds each.
Next, to make ends meet. This means to have just enough money to cover your basic expenses. Basic expenses means the essential costs of living, like rent, food, and bills, with nothing left over. Nothing left over means no money remaining after costs are paid.
After the rent increase, she was struggling to make ends meet. Or, it was a tough year, but we managed to make ends meet. Make ends meet suggests things are difficult but manageable. Manageable means possible to handle, not overwhelming.
Next, to go Dutch. This means to split the bill equally. Each person pays for their own share. Share means portion, the part belonging to each person. It comes from an old cultural reference. Cultural reference means something connected to a particular culture's history or customs, but it's completely common in modern English.
We went Dutch at the restaurant. It was easier since there were 6 of us. Jake always offers to go Dutch unless he's treating. Treating means paying for everyone as a gift.
And one more, money doesn't grow on trees. This is a classic expression meaning money has to be earned. It doesn't just appear without effort. Often said to remind someone that spending should be thoughtful.
My mom said this to me approximately 400 times during my childhood. It didn't fully sink in. Sink in means be properly understood and absorbed until I had my own rent to pay.
Now, let's talk about 3 words that people often confuse: salary, wage, and income. Salary is a fixed regular payment, usually monthly, for professional or office work. It's agreed in advance. In advance means before you start as part of your contract and doesn't change based on hours worked.
She earns a salary of $40,000 a year. It's the amount, fixed, reliable. Reliable means consistent and dependable, regardless of means without being affected by, whether you work 40 hours or 45 in a given week.
Wage is payment based on hours worked, usually weekly and common in manual or hourly jobs. He earns a good wage working at the factory. Factory means a building where goods are manufactured. Wages go up or down based on hours.
So salary is fixed and monthly,
Wage is hourly and variable. Variable means changing, not fixed. Got it.
And income is the broadest. Broadest means most general and wide-ranging term. It covers all the money you receive from any source. Salary, wages, freelance work. Freelance work means work done independently for various clients rather than as a permanent employee. Investments. Investments means money placed in something with the expectation of a financial return. Rental income. Rental income means money received from renting out property. Your total income is everything coming in.
My income this month was higher than usual because I did some extra freelance work. Income is the whole picture. Salary and wage are just parts of it.
And one more important distinction: to borrow versus to lend. These two confuse almost everyone. To borrow means to take something temporarily means for a limited time, with the intention of returning it. To lend means to give something temporarily.
Can I borrow 20 pounds? I'm asking for it. Can you lend me 20 pounds? I'm asking you to give it to me temporarily. Same transaction. Transaction means an exchange or deal, completely different direction.
Jake lent me money once when I was really tight. I borrowed it and paid him back. Paid him back means returned the money within 2 weeks.
Jake is a good friend. Even when I'm being evasive. Evasive means avoiding something directly, not being straightforward, about hotel weekends.
Now, 3 levels. Casual. Jake calls Sam and asks why he's been so quiet about the next group trip he's planning. Sam is honest this time.
Look, Jake, I'm going to be straight with you. Straight with you means honest and direct. I'm on a tight budget this month. I had some unexpected expenses, and I've been cutting back on pretty much everything. I can't afford another big trip right now. I'm saving up for something, and I need to stay on track. Stay on track means continue in the right direction without being diverted. I should have just said that 3 weeks ago instead of inventing a schedule thing. My bad. My bad means I was wrong. It was my fault.
Perfect. Honest, warm, natural. And Jake would completely respect that. Professional level. Lily is presenting a budget update to her team. I want to walk everyone through. Walk everyone through means explain step by step our current budget position. We're within budget on most line items. Line items means individual categories of spending in a budget. But we've overspent. Overspent means spent more than planned, slightly on marketing this quarter. Quarter means a 3-month period. Going forward means from now on, in the future, I'd recommend we cut back on external contractors. External contractors means people hired from outside the company for specific work. And redirect means send in a different direction, those funds. Funds means money set aside for a specific purpose, toward our product development goals. I'll circulate means send around to everyone, a revised budget by end of week.
That is the most competent financial presentation I have ever heard in my life.
And formal level, a financial report or official document.
The organization's annual expenditure means the total amount of money spent, exceeded means went beyond, was more than, projected revenue means the income that was estimated and expected, by approximately 8%. Necessitating means making necessary, requiring. A comprehensive means complete, covering everything. Review of all discretionary means not essential, based on choice rather than necessity. Spending across all departments. Departments means divisions within an organization.
That sentence just described me going over budget at the supermarket in the most official way possible. Common mistakes. First, wrong, I don't have money to go out this weekend. More natural version?
I can't afford to go out this weekend. Or, I'm a bit tight this weekend. I don't have money sounds stark. Stark means harsh and blunt with no softening. I can't afford it is normal and natural.
Second, wrong, this restaurant is very economic. Correct version?
This restaurant is very economical. Or, this restaurant is good value.
Economic means related to the economy, the large financial system of a country. Economical means not wasteful, giving good value for money. Completely different words.
Third, wrong. Can you borrow me some money? Correct version?
Can you lend me some money? If you're asking someone to give you money temporarily, lend. If you're talking about yourself receiving it, borrow. Can you lend me, or can I borrow from you?
Perfect. And fourth, wrong. I need to make some economies this month. More natural version?
I need to cut back this month. Or I need to economize. Economize means reduce spending, be more careful with money this month. Make economies sounds very formal and slightly old-fashioned. Old-fashioned means no longer commonly used from an earlier time. Cut back is the natural, everyday version.
Before the quiz, something directly to everyone listening. Talking about money in English, especially about not having enough, can feel vulnerable. Vulnerable means open and exposed. In many cultures, money is private. Admitting financial difficulty feels like admitting failure. Failure means not succeeding. But in English, the language around money is actually quite practical and non-judgmental. Non-judgmental means not making negative assessments about people. I can't afford it. I'm on a tight budget. I'm saving up for something. These are just facts. Normal, human, completely acceptable facts. You don't need to explain or apologize. You just need the words.
I needed 45 seconds of words to get out of a conversation I spent 3 days dreading. Dreading means fearing with a heavy, anxious feeling. The words were always there. I just needed to use them.
Lily quiz? Ready?
Ready.
Number 1, a plan for how you're going to spend your money. What's the word?
A budget.
Number 2, to have enough money to pay for something. What's the verb?
To afford. I can afford it. I can't afford it.
Number 3, to reduce your spending in a specific area. The expression?
To cut back. Cut back on.
Number 4, to gradually put money aside until you have enough for something specific. The expression?
To save up.
Number 5, to spend money freely on something as a special treat. What's the verb?
To splurge.
Number 6, to spend only as much as you earn. The idiom?
To live within your means.
Number 7, things are financially difficult, but you're managing. The expression?
Making ends meet. We're managing to make ends meet.
Number 8, everyone pays for their own share of the bill. You?
Go Dutch.
Number 9, wrong. Can you borrow me some money? Correct version?
Can you lend me some money? Lend when you're giving, borrow when you're receiving.
Number 10, wrong. This is very economic. Correct version?
This is very economical, or this is good value. Economic is about the national economy. Economical means not wasteful.
Number 11, the total money you receive from all sources. Salary, freelance work, investments. What's the word?
Income. Your total income.
And number 12, the final question. It's 3 weeks ago. Jake calls Sam about the weekend trip. Using today's vocabulary, what should Sam have said immediately, honestly, and naturally?
Jake, that sounds incredible, and I genuinely wish I could. But I'm going to be straight with you. I'm on a tight budget this month. I had some unexpected expenses, and I've been cutting back on pretty much everything to stay within my means. I can't afford a big weekend right now. I'm saving up for something, and I need to protect my budget. It's not about the company. The company means the people you'd be with. It's just that the glass, it's a bit low this month. Next time, and I mean it, count me in. Count me in means include me. I want to participate.
That was perfect. Honest, clear, warm, and completely natural. Jake would have said, "Say no more," immediately.
And I would have saved 3 days of anxiety for a 45-second conversation.
Shadowing time. Say these out loud. Budget.
Budget.
Slowly. Bud. Jet. I'm on a tight budget this month.
We need to stay within budget on this project. Budget. Your plan for your money. Noun and verb. Use it all the time.
Afford.
I can't afford it right now. We finally saved enough to afford the holiday. Afford. Can I afford this? Can't afford it. The most natural money phrase in English.
Cut back.
I've been cutting back on eating out. We had to cut back on everything this month. Cut back on. Always on. Cut back on coffee. Cut back on subscriptions. Cut back on big weekends away.
Save up.
I've been saving up for 6 months. She saved up all year for that holiday. Save up. Gradual, intentional, goal-oriented. You're saving up for something specific.
Splurge.
I splurged on a really nice dinner. After months of cutting back, I finally splurged on something just for me. Splurge. Intentional treating. Conscious enjoyment. You earned it.
Make ends meet.
It was a tough year, but we managed to make ends meet. She worked 2 jobs just to make ends meet. Make ends meet. Difficult, but manageable. Just enough. Getting through.
Go Dutch.
We went Dutch. It was easier with 6 people. Do you want to go Dutch, or shall I get this one? Go Dutch. Split equally. Everyone pays their share. Very common, very natural.
Come back and say these phrases out loud again. Pause, rewind, repeat. Your mouth needs to practice these so they're ready the next time money comes up in conversation. You know what I find interesting about money conversations? They're one of the most avoided. Avoided means deliberately not talked about topics in almost every culture, and yet money affects everything. Where you live, what you eat, what you can do, what opportunities you have access to. Having the language to talk about it clearly, without shame, without drama, without awkwardness, is genuinely powerful. It's not just vocabulary, it's agency. Agency means the ability to act and make choices for yourself.
I avoided a simple conversation for 3 days because I didn't have the confidence to say 4 words. I can't afford it. 4 words. That's all it was. And those 4 words would have been completely fine. Jake wouldn't have thought less of me. Thought less of me means had a lower opinion of me. He would have just said, okay. But I didn't trust the words. Now I do.
Trust the words. That might be the best summary of this whole podcast.
Trust the words. They're always there. You just have to use them.
Now, tell us in the comments, what is one thing you're currently saving up for? Or what is one area where you've been cutting back? We want to know. We read every single comment.
And if this episode helped you, please hit like, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs to have an honest money conversation and doesn't have the words yet. Give them the words. Also, our last episode was all about talking about spring in English. Blossom, thaw, mild, spring idioms. A really beautiful one. Link is right there.
See you tomorrow. Bye, everyone.
Bye. And Jake, next time I'll just say it immediately. I can't afford it. 4 words. I've got them now.
See you tomorrow.